Hey guys, happy Friday! It is time for the Battalion Brief this week, and I have a couple new to me books to share. They're not necessarily the newest releases, but they're books that I got recently that I haven't seen before, and I'm really liking those. So I wanted to share those. I do have a new chapter book review for you this week. It's actually 2 books in the same series to share. And hey Kaylee. And I also wanted to share a couple little insider tips, a little bit of insider info on hosting parties. So I'm going to start with the 4 books that are new to me to share with you guys. So first up, I have 2 nonfiction books and 2 activity books. So first up, one of our big book of big. So of course I love the big books, but for some reason I did not have the big book of the body for the longest time. And it's been on my wish list, but every time I order, I always get new titles, and this one wasn't a new one, so it kind of got pushed off to the side. So finally I ordered this one, and I think it's my favorite in the series. I don't know why I waited so long. It's so cool. The pictures inside this one they're different than the ones inside the rest of the big books. I feel like they're a little more cartoon style, which I actually don't mind. I thought I wouldn't really like that. Hey, Carol. But I don't mind it. This one you can see obviously is a vertical spread, but I can't hold it vertically to show you. And I just think these big books do a great job of breaking up the information. Hey, Chelsea. Into these little, just bite-sized chunks here. So you can see just little blurbs of text, little thought bubble style. And there's always like good little fun facts sprinkled throughout too. So you'll find interesting things you may not have known, especially this one about the body. They cover all kinds of good stuff. But I thought this one was more colorful than the rest in the series. Maybe it's because it's the body. They felt like they could do more colors and make it a little more cartoony, versus some of the others are like animals and rockets and stars and planets, and those are a little more specific in what they can do as far as the illustrations. So I don't know. I thought I liked this one more than those. So I wanted to share it real quick. But that's the big book of the body. So I'm really liking that one. And then my other nonfiction one to show is Lift the Flap, Fractions and Decimals. This one's been out for a while. It is also not a new title, but it's a great math resource if you've got kiddos, I believe 1st, 2nd grade, doing fractions and decimals. So there's lots and lots of great flaps to lift, little kind of activities throughout where like it'll ask a question and you flip the flap to see what the answer is. Hey, Antoinette. So I don't know. I think I like these pretty good. You guys know I like the flap ones. I have, a pretty large selection of the flap books. My only complaint about this one, some of the flaps are really small. So like this one you can see here. So the first time you flip them, you've got to be a little bit gentle, not to tear them up. But I think this would be a really good option for the 1st grade, 2nd grade age range kiddos. We've got sorting fractions here so they can compare different fractions. I just think it's a really good hands-on option because we don't have a wipe clean fractions yet. Hopefully we'll get that soon. But I think that would be a really good one too. But in the meantime, Lift the Flap I think is the next best thing. We do have a fractions and decimals activity book. So it's like a little workbook that is pretty similar to this one from what I've seen. So I would think those 2 would actually go really well together. They could practice writing, problems and practicing activities in the book, and then they could come over here and lift some flaps and, have a little bit more fun with it than just a workbook. So fun, Lift the Flap, Fractions and Decimals. And then I have 2 activity books to share. So the first is a series, the fingerprint activity books. And I think I've shared these a little bit in the past. I'm really bad about activity books, you guys. You got to hold me accountable on these activity books. They tend to fall off my radar because I don't have kids to actually use them and get that kind of feedback. So if you've got activity books that your kids love and use all the time, please post pictures, share with me, tell me, you know, what they think, reviews, good or bad. I'm open to all of them, just so that I can know kind of what kids at each age level prefer for different activities. So these fingerprint activities, they're these spiral bound books here. They've got a pad of ink over here. I've been told the ink pads last quite a while, so you should be good to finish this book and then some with just this pad. But you could use, you know, other pads if you had different colors you wanted to. So pretty much each page, sorry, my dog is barking. Each page has a couple little prompts that it'll tell you what to do. So here it says print woodpeckers on the tree trunks, and it shows you step by step how to do that with just your fingerprint. And then, you know, other embellishments to the page. I mean, they could do whatever they wanted, obviously, but that at least gets them started with some ideas. These would be really good busy books if you have kids in the car, you need them to be entertained on a drive, or even at like the doctor's office or something, somewhere they're going to be sitting a while. This would be a really good one to keep them entertained. It might be a little messy, but if you've got some baby wipes or something, you can wipe their hands off afterward. I think that would work out pretty good. So that's the fingerprint backyard activities, and I think that one's one of the newest ones. And then we have fingerprint animals. There's quite a few other ones that are out, but yeah, here's, and you can see it has little tips in the front too that tell you, you know, how to do the best fingerprints. This one obviously is going to be about animals. Oh, that's cute. Add spots to the leopard. I mean, they could easily take out a sheet of paper and do their own after they finish the book if the pad still has some color to it. Or if you've got two kids, you know, give one of them the book and one of them a piece of paper, and then they can flip-flop pages. So yeah, I thought those were pretty cool. I don't highlight them as much as I should, but they would be really great gifts. I'm thinking like birthday parties. If you need a last-minute gift to have a couple of these on hand, you could just grab them. They would be good, I'd say preschool all the way through elementary school, depending on the kids', you know, artistic interest. If they're into that, definitely would be a good option for a birthday party gift. Okay, and last one I want to show is our magic painting books. So recently I have started showing these a little bit more because I realized how cool they are. I, you know, was kind of like, oh, you know, another activity book, paint with water, great. But I got it now. You know, I've seen people share pictures and videos of how these work, and I do think they're really cool, especially for parents who want to minimize the mess factor of activities. This is a really good option because it is just water. And it comes, so the paintbrush that it comes with, and then there's a piece in the back that you fold over, so if you're going to do a page, it doesn't leak onto the next page. So there's one. This is the new one. This is dinosaurs. And basically you just paint with water. So this would be a good one for on the go. You don't have to carry like paints or anything with you. You just need like a little cup of water. You could put it, if your kids have like a car seat with a cup holder, just give them a tiny little bit of water, just enough to dip their brush in and get it wet. They can paint. Even like a wet paper towel I've heard will work. So if you soak a paper towel in water, stick it in the bottom of a cup, they can use that so that there's not like tons of water to be spilled or anything like that. But yeah, so there's different colors that'll come up on each page, you know, in each area, and they'll come out looking something like this cover picture here, or the back cover. So really a fun option, pretty cheap for an activity book too. Also a great gift option. I think activity books are really good in general for gifting, because a lot of times people feel like, oh, I don't want to give a nonfiction like textbook. You know, that's not a fun gift. No kid really wants to receive an encyclopedia, let's be honest. So even some of our interactive nonfiction ones still border on like, oh, is the kid really going to be that excited? I mean, yes, they're great books, but they're more for kids who need the help versus just a gift. So I feel like other than maybe the Shine a Light books, some of the nonfiction options are a little hard for gifting purposes. So I would stick to the activity books for gifting. I think those are a really good option for older kids, obviously. Babies are easy. You can gift them little touchy-feely books. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to share my review of these two chapter books. There are two in the new series, the Brother series. We have Bug Brother and Pirate Brother. Kaylee says we have both fingerprint and magic painting. Your three-year-old likes magic painting better. That's good to know. Not great at following directions yet, so he's sticking his whole hand in the paint. Good to know. Yeah, so those fingerprint books, they're great. They might need some supervision on the younger end of kiddos there. Okay, so these two books, chapter books, they're new. They are younger age range. I would say these are probably your kindergarten, first grade, maybe second grade would be kind of pushing it. It would be a really quick and easy read for a second grader. I read these in about 30 minutes each. They're not very big, so they're a quick read. Bug Brother is the first one in the series. However, I actually read Pirate Brother because I didn't know that they needed to be read in order, and it doesn't really matter. Pirate Brother still made a ton of sense, was still very entertaining, but I read Bug Brother this morning, and it kind of pulled all the details together for me there. But give you a peek inside here. At the text amount, there are little illustrations throughout, not a ton, but just enough kind of sprinkled in there. But there's not a ton of text per page, so I feel like these are good, kind of a quick read. These would actually even be good for like a longer bedtime story for younger kids if you wanted to read to them, like a preschool age kiddo, maybe even a toddler age kid, because they're pretty relatable. So this guy right here, this is Jamie. He's the main character, and he is the older brother to his brother Harry. But Harry is taller, and so everybody thinks Harry's older, and it really makes Jamie mad. And so in Bug Brother, Jamie actually discovers a cape hanging in the forest. And he puts it on because he's like, this is really cool. This might have magic. He's really excited. And then come to find out, it is a magic cape. So he starts making wishes and things start happening, and he's like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was real. His best friend Rima lives down the street, and she is helping him, try to fix some of his wishes that didn't turn out exactly how you would hope they would. But it's a really cute story of brothers that fight but still obviously love each other. They kind of wrap it all up in the end and, back on good terms. And then in Pirate Brother, we're a little further into the storyline. They don't explain where the cape came from. They just say, he has this magic cape. He gets to make wishes, and this is how the cape works. And so there's a couple special things that make the cape work. So in Pirate Brother, he and Rima have dressed as your favorite storybook character at school, and his favorite character is Brave Bill, a pirate. And so he decides to dress as Brave Bill, but then he wishes that Brave Bill could actually come to school with him. So Brave Bill comes out of his story and joins the real world here with Jamie and goes to school with him, causes all kinds of trouble. But he teaches Jamie a really valuable lesson in the end. So both of these have kind of that underlying good lesson message, along with some fun action and, just really relatable, especially for siblings. They fight a little bit, they get on each other's nerves, but at the end, of course, they love each other. So I would recommend these. I did like this series. I thought it was cute. It was a quick read. Like I said, 30 minutes or so. You could definitely read it to some younger kiddos, and I think they would enjoy that. So, really quickly, I am pushing it on time, but I want to mention a couple things about hosting your own party, because I think a lot of people don't really know what goes into it, and I get a lot of questions about that. So just wanted to share kind of what I've been doing here recently with my current hostesses, and if you have hosted for me recently within the last 6 months or so, please comment, let us know your take on it. But what I've been doing for my hostesses, basically I'll walk you through every step of the way, learning how to do a party, because some of you haven't done them before, so you don't really know what to do. And the way that I've been doing that recently is with videos. So I'll do a quick little 1 minute, 2 minute video a couple times throughout the party to you as the hostess, and it has just a little bit of information, but also usually a task attached to it. and it tells you basically how to accomplish that task and what that's going to get us. So it really walks you through the steps of being a really good hostess. Usually my hostesses that follow through, watch the videos, do the tasks, pay attention to what I'm telling them, have really successful parties. So I always try to provide enough information to my hostesses, and I do that because I want them to have great parties, not because I'm trying to be a know-it-all or anything. I just have learned from almost 2 years of doing parties now what works and what doesn't. So I've tried to consolidate that into these short little videos so that I don't have to basically train you on everything there is to know about Facebook parties. I just give you the little tidbits that you need to know as a hostess, and it really just walks you through kind of step by step what there is to do. So if you're interested in hosting your own party, let me know. I will get you hooked up with that, and you can test out my videos and see what you think of them. But if you've hosted for me recently, please comment below. Let me know if you thought that the videos were helpful. If you didn't like the videos, I'd love to hear that feedback too. I'm open to constructive criticism either way. But thank you guys so much for watching. That is all I've got this week for the Battalion Brief. I don't think we're going to have one next week because it is Easter weekend and I'm probably going to be going home. So I will pick up in 2 weeks with another Battalion Brief and a story time. So tune in for that. Hope you guys have a fabulous weekend and a great Easter weekend next week. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.